All right. So you know how we always say New York City is a whole different beast?
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that applies to keeping our furry friends healthy, too.
For sure. For sure.
You guys sent in this article, Vets New York City.
Right.
We thought it would be cool to, like, do a deep dive into it. Because it's one thing to, like, have a dog park on every corner.
Yeah, right.
It's another thing to, like, actually navigate all the ins and outs of, like, keeping them healthy,
Absolutely.
in a city like this.
I think a lot of people move to the city and they don't realize how different it is
Yeah.
taking care of a pet here.
Hold
and
on.
then it is, maybe back home in the suburbs or whatever.
Yeah.
And this article I thought was really interesting because it kind of like,
Yeah.
it kind of dug a little deeper than just like,
Right.
here's the vet you go when your dog's sick.
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
no, this is like being a pet owner in New York City.
Yeah, it's like a whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're not just dealing with
it's
these
a whole
regular stuff. It's like
ball game.
Yeah, like city specific.
Yeah.
So like what jumped out at you when you were like reading through this article?
I would say the biggest thing is that it focuses on like
Right.
preventative care as opposed to just like
Good.
going to the vet when there's a problem.
Oh, so it's not just about like fixing something that's broken. It's about like
Exactly.
maintaining the health.
Right. Think of it like
Like a tune-up.
a car tune-up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Take your car in
Yeah.
for service, every few thousand miles or whatever.
Even if it seems to be running fine.
Right.
Right.
And that's really, I think, a smart way to think about vet care, especially in the city, because there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So many distractions. You're busy. You're working.
Absolutely.
You might miss like little subtle signs from your pet
Yeah.
that something's not quite right.
Totally.
So if you're taking them in for checkups regularly,
Oh,
your vet might be able to spot those things
okay.
before they become major problems.
So like what are some things that like we as like busy New Yorkers
Yeah.
might not pick up on
Right.
that like a vet is trained to look for?
Yeah.
What are those like subtle cues?
Well, even just like a small change
Okay.
in their eating habits
Okay.
or how much water they're drinking
Oh, okay.
could be significant.
Okay.
Maybe they're hiding more than usual or
Yeah.
they seem less interested in going for walks,
Uh-huh.
things like that. These could be signs of pain or
Okay.
stress or maybe even some underlying medical condition.
So basically we need to learn how to like speak dog or speak cat.
Exactly. You gotta understand those nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
Because they can't tell us what's wrong.
Right.
Right. And a good vet will help you kind of decipher those cues
Yeah.
and figure out what's normal for your pet, right?
Versus what might be a cause for concern.
That makes total sense. And, I was thinking about the whole, like, city-specific challenges thing.
Yeah.
And, like, I have a friend who has a Great Dane
Oh, wow.
in, like, a tiny little studio apartment.
Oh, my goodness.
And the dog can barely turn around in there,
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, is there, like, can a vet help with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. This article talks about how vets can help you create
Okay.
like an exercise routine
Okay.
that's tailored to your pet's breed
Yeah.
and their living space.
Yeah, okay.
So like for a high energy dog
Yeah.
in a small apartment, maybe that means like short bursts of intense play throughout the day
Oh, okay. Interesting.
or finding ways to exercise a cat
Yeah.
mentally and physically when they're indoors most of the time.
So it's not just about, like, taking your dog for a walk around the block.
No.
You got to be a little more creative.
Especially in the city.
Yeah.
And it's not just about exercise, right?
No.
Like what about socialization?
Huge.
Yeah, because you're constantly surrounded by
People.
and other animals and
Yeah.
noises.
Right. And other dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Socialization is super important.
Yeah. I've definitely seen some dogs at the dog park that just seem like
Overwhelmed.
totally overwhelmed by it all.
Yeah. And a vet can give you advice on that, too.
Okay.
You know how to socialize your pet safely and effectively.
Okay.
Maybe it's finding the right dog park.
Yeah.
Maybe it's using positive reinforcement training.
Okay.
Maybe it's even like professional training if you need it.
Okay.
But a well-socialized pet is a happy pet and a safer pet.
Totally. So we've talked about like, preventative care and like city-specific challenges.
Right.
But like, what about emergencies?
Ah, yeah, good point.
Because it feels like in New York, like anything can happen at any moment.
Anything can happen.
So,
You're right. Having a trusted vet that you can reach,
Yeah.
like even in off hours, is priceless.
And the article talks about
Yeah.
how important it is to have access to like 247 emergency services.
Right.
Because you just never know when,
Huh.
your pet might get into an accident or suddenly get sick.
Right. That peace of mind is like
Huge. Yeah.
totally worth it. So it sounds like we should really be thinking about our vet as like a partner
Totally.
in like navigating this whole crazy city with our pets.
Absolutely. The article really emphasizes that like the vet is like a resource
Okay.
for all aspects of pet ownership in the city.
Not just
not just when they're sick.
when they're sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Behavioral issues, dietary needs, even like
Wow.
finding pet-friendly resources in the city.
Okay.
Your vet can help you with all of that.
So after this deep dive,
Yeah.
if our listeners were to take away one thing,
Mm-hmm.
what would you want that to be?
I think the biggest thing is just realizing
Okay.
that being proactive about your pet's care
Okay.
is so important in a city like
Yeah.
this.
So find a vet who really gets the unique challenges of city living.
Yeah.
Build that relationship with them.
Okay.
Go for regular checkups, talk to them, be open
Yeah.
and willing to learn.
Yeah.
And you'll be much better equipped to handle
Right.
whatever New York throws your way.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for, taking the time to like
Of course.
break down this article with me.
My pleasure. It's a really important topic.
I feel like I learned a lot,
Good.
and I hope our listeners did too.
Me too.
All right, everybody. Until next time.
Bye.